We. All right. What did Frederick just send in the announcements? Okay. Looks acceptable. We are live, indeed. We are going to go live on Twitch. We are going to go live on YouTube. In fact, we are live on YouTube right now. And let's see if the chat is working. Check the chat. Test. Send a test message. Are the test messages coming through? Hello, Gamira. My server is not picking up the chat messages from YouTube. It is getting them from Twitch. And it is not getting them from Twitter. So that is fine. Hello, Big Frankie. Hello, Srirams. YouTube chat. Oh, YouTube chat is coming through. Nice, nice. Let's see if I can also get the X chat coming through. Send a little test message. I'm not seeing anything. And the logs say 400 bad request. Oh, probably because I have the wrong broadcast ID. Change the broadcast ID. And then try X again. Hello, everyone. Hello, Alex. I've got Twitch working. Yes. I've got Twitch working. I've got X as well. It's streaming. But the chat messages from X are not coming through, which basically means I will have to, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to get that working, but that's okay. I will show you what I'm working with at the moment. So we have, let's see. Let's share the secret source, shall we? Desktop. Pop OBS down the bottom. And I have my RTMP server going on here. We've got Twitch messages, we've got YouTube messages, but the ones from X are not coming through. That's fine. Good afternoon, Honetick. Hello, hello, Weld. Robson Programmer, hello. Oh, Pro Gamer, I mean. Hello, unknown Ilyas. USA Maimran? Mesha? All right, cool. Gonna pop that down underneath on my little screen. And then so I migrated my streaming box to Oracle Cloud. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oracle Cloud. From Vultr to Oracle Cloud, because the last time we streamed, we had a little bit of an issue with getting rate limited. So we'll see if Oracle rate limits me, I guess. We'll see in maybe a couple hours. So far, it looks like the machine's sitting at about 90% CPU. Got some bytes coming in, bytes going out. A little bit of disk activity. Memory usage is pretty stable, 75%. So we'll see how it goes. OCI shouldn't rate limit you. Do you have an LB in front of that box? No, it's just a single instance. How is job hunting going? Well, I'm not really actively going and hunting out for jobs. That'll be nice if Oracle does not rate limit me. That would be good. Let me... So, we're going to continue on with what I was doing last time, which is writing Redis from scratch in Rust. No, we're not going to really vibe code. We're gonna have some AI assistance. For example, I'll give you an example. Oops, I'll shrink this. Last time when I was building, what's going on with my Vim? Last time when we were building this, I wasn't entirely sure how to do what I wanted to do. So I asked for a little bit of assistance, and one of the key things that was sort of suggested was to create a decoder. We've got this Tokyo util decoder and framed read that I wasn't aware of, and also a cursor from the standard library. And that has allowed us to, the cursor lets us treat the bytes from the Redis client as a file, which sounds weird, but it makes sense when you consider that the Redis client is sending like new lines, and it's not exactly known how big it's going to be. So being able to seek and do things like that seems to be useful. You can see that we have this cursor here, and we pass the cursor into these parsing functions, parse header, and what this is doing is it is trying to advance. Yeah, so first you have a delimiter that gets skipped, and then we move forward by 1 until we can read a full decimal, which is happening in here. Sorry, yeah, so we move forward by 1, then we try to read a decimal, and we don't know how big the decimal is going to be, so we keep moving forward by 2 bytes until those 2 bytes are a carriage return line feed. And then when we hit that, we are passing the number and giving it back. So that was the core of what we did in the last session. Hello, Iced Lemon. Random question, do I know TLA plus? I don't know. I've heard of that, but I don't know much about it. Goat Trophy, the 100K, yep. How's the size of these things at the moment? Are they like too small? We good? So the next thing we were doing is literally just writing out the response. So we're on Code Crafters, and they have the this catalog item, which is build your own Redis using whatever language you want. And we're at the point where we are receiving an echo command from the Redis client, and we have to make sure that we're parsing the command correctly and giving back the correct response. I feel so dumb watching you do this. I'm working from home as Claude is fixing my QA bugs. Don't worry about it. What do you think about low-level development? Do you think it's good job security? I mean, probably. It's hard, so there's going to be less people that are able to do it, so it's going to be more secure as a job, I would say. So we have, so we've got this decoder here for this struct. And that lets us handle the connection, where we get a command result in here. Can you know my location? It's Australia. No offense, is this a Codecrafters ad? No, I have not done any. There's been no collaboration between me and Codecrafters. I have an interview on 2nd of September. Tips? I can't give tips unless you have more information, more context there. Hello, is it Ralphus? Ralphus. Do you run, compile, and debug your code in NeoVim, or is it a separate terminal? I usually use a separate terminal. I don't like Rust Analyzer will do some kind of compilation because it has to in order to get the linting and errors, but obviously I'll do something in a separate terminal. And that's what this tiny window down here is doing. You don't really need to see what's going on here though at the moment. We can run, I'm just running down here in this tiny text, I'm running Codecrafters test. And you can see it's actually pinging the website. And I don't know what it's doing right now. Oh, it's compiling. Okay. And so, okay, so I need to take this framed read. Why don't I use Alacrity and Zellage? I don't know, I like Ghosty. I like those ones too, but Ghosty's cool as well. So Gemini has suggested 2 alternate versions of this. The first is using to split the TCP stream into a read half and a write half, which is interesting. But apparently, the more idiomatic way is to continue to use the so we've already got the decoding, but now we need the encoding step. Which means, to create a response, we're going to need to do an encode. And right here, it's got match item, simple string, bulk string, error, and nil. I'm not sure if this is going to be exactly good enough for what I'm trying to do. We can see how it's being used here, where we have just framed here with the single stream. And this is pretty similar to what I've already got here. We don't need an iterator. And it's going to do a bunch of length checking. And then like byte literal checks, which are case sensitive. And I suppose this is good enough, and then this can probably be made way better in the future once I figure out a nicer abstraction, maybe. B Smith, is that it? B Smith? Hello, hello. Hello, Jim Beam. Yeah, so I'm just going to do it like this. We're going to not create an iterator here. And we're going to delete this whole thing here. Right. So I already have a little struct. No AI engineering tonight. Well, we're going to consult AI for certain things that we want. So I've already got this command struct, which is converting from strings. And we actually want this to be to ASCII uppercase, I suppose. What does this produce? A string. I actually don't want a string because that's going to allocate. Can we to uppercase? Can we actually make this uppercase without allocating a string? Did I try debugging with some NeoVim plugin? No, I've never used debuggers inside Vim. So, yeah. This isn't necessarily going to work unless I actually lowercase it. I'm going to just can this whole bit for the moment. We're not going to use that command thing. I'm going to delete this while loop. And then we're going to do just these silly naive checks here. So I think we can do... So it's checking if args length equals 2 and args, the first args is echo, then it's going to give back this response, which has an encoder. Otherwise, if it's a length of 1, yeah, so I feel like we want to maybe let response, and then we're going to just leave it uninitialized, probably. We're going to need a struct here, which is going to be resp response, and it's going to be an enum, I think. Yeah, and it doesn't need to derive debug, and it doesn't need to be pub either. And it's going to have these variants, let's say. Oh, I'm not sure if I want it to have strings. Do we need it to have a string? args1.clone. Let's give it a little lifetime variable there. We're going to just say it lives for as long as the request that we received. That kind of makes sense to me. And then we're going to have a few others. One's going to be nil. Actually, I don't know why we would even... Why would it would... That's never constructed here, so I'm going to just leave that one off. Going to have an error, which is maybe a static string. Yeah, that's just going to be static. And then this is going to be bytes, and it's going to be a bulk string. Right, okay. Dude is coding without AI. Yep. Hello from Belgium. Hello. People get so hung up on AI use to think of it as a calculator. I don't think of it at all as anything. It's like, I guess it's kind of like if people came in and said, this guy is coding without Google or Stack Overflow. It's kind of like that a little bit. Hello from Philippines. It is okay, I'm not an AI fanboy. I'm a dev for over 20 years. Was curious. Fair enough. So we have the uninitialized response here, and we're going to do if args len is 2, and I'm going to do a second one in here. So we're going to do args first element. Why isn't it... I feel like something's already wrong. Args... Oh, yeah, that's right. Args is actually this. Yep. Doesn't have to be mutable at this stage. And then we're going to have also... if it's single length, and otherwise... yeah, this is going to be an else if, and then else. That should be fine. Right? Yep. We can do framed.send response.await send. Probably needs a trait. Sync and stream. I'm guessing it's these. We've already got stream. Sync extension. Maybe? Let's see what that is actually. It has with flat map, sync map, close, fan out, and send. Yeah, it's probably that one. Is it? The send exists, but its trait bounds were not satisfied. Framed read, TCP stream, futures sync, which is required by framed read Tokyo, netstream, sync extension. I can't actually... Am I missing something here? My thoughts on Rust versus Go? Which aspect of Rust and Go? Doesn't satisfy sync or sync extension. Framed TCP stream doesn't satisfy that? Have I got caps lock on? What is happening right now? Oh, why would that not implement? Let's see what it actually needs. What does it require? Sync extension item, sync item. Maybe we have to implement it, or maybe it needs the codec. Ah, that's why. Yeah. I think it needs this struct here to implement the codec. So we've got a decoder for resp decoder, and we need a encoder for resp response. Oh, but it has a lifetime. Is that going to be an issue? That might be an issue. Item. Self error. Message. The keyboard sounds so creamy. What's it called? You can see my keyboard if we go to over yonder. I will paste that in the YouTube chat if I can. Yes. That's my keyboard. It's this top one here, the Kick 75 with brown switches, and I'm using a low profile version. Oh, I see someone's cursor. Who's there? Where are you? Uh-huh. Yeah, I still have my Phoenix server running doing doing some presence things. That's funny. What is your opposition to using Codex Claude? I don't have any opposition to using it. You're in Sri Lanka. Can I tell you how to code with AI or without? The question is, do you feel like you're learning? I would like use whatever you like, but if you feel like you are not learning, then there's a problem. Would I try Lisp? I'm not a fan of Lisp. I find it confusing. I guess I could try it one day, I suppose. So I definitely have some kind of a trait problem here. Missing generics for trait encoder. Oh, can I just... No, there's no way I can just give it the lifetime. There is... No, oh, wait. No, I think I do it here. And it's still not going to like this. Missing generics for trait. No variant associated. Blah, blah, blah. So do I literally have no choice? Okay. Can we not heap allocate and still satisfy the encoder trait? It's saying use a copy on write. Zero allocation encoder implementation. Or response enum. Wait, where's the copy on write being used here? It's not actually used here. What about LLMs? What about them? Will I re-upload? Yes. All of my lives get uploaded. You use Neovim, but what's the error panel? This one here is a plugin called Trouble. So if I close that and I hit T, well, the actual command is Trouble Diagnostics, and it pops that up. I think I can also do Telescope. Can I do Telescope Diagnostics? But it's not, I'm not sure if it's as good. Yeah, I like that, the Trouble plugin. Seems to be the best one out there for that exact purpose. I don't know what else it has actually. Trouble, and then we got FZF, lock list, type definitions, like what is that? No results. Okay, doesn't matter. Is TypeScript still relevant? I would say yeah. Like it's extremely widely used. Most of the internet's probably running on TypeScript. Okay, so this thing thinks a copy on write is a way to avoid allocating, but then it uses regular strings here. And then it's saying I to A is a dependency I can bring in, which is a integer to ASCII serializer. And that is being used how? Okay. I need to change this a bit. With 2, idiomatic. See what it says. How do you think students should use AI for learning and where they absolutely should not use it? Like I said, it's you have to judge it yourself. There's no hard and fast rules. If you cannot explain what you're doing, then it means you probably don't understand it very well. You think it's dancing around interior mutability? I'm not sure if that's the case right now. So what we have is this framed stream, which is mutable. And we're going to send... I'm not actually sure if we can just send inside this while loop. I'm still unsure about that. But then 0 allocation response enum or integer formatting. And it is saying the encoder would look something like this, where encode has encoder with the type inside like this for resp codec. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Was it sort of doing that before? It was sort of doing that before. Okay, so yeah, I'm doing this a little wrong. We actually want to have a unit struct with the RESP codec. Yeah, let's call it codec. Is it? Okay, we can do RESP codec for both. Go down here and fix this one. Oops. And then the encoder will have this, I guess, type parameter passed in. And that's actually acceptable. That's cool. Am I using Omachi? No, this is Pop OS. Hello, Sensei. You made it. Is anyhow a real function, or did I make it like that? That's a library that is for error handling. Anyhow is a crate that just allows you to throw an error without having to define your own error, and it will convert into whatever error type it needs to in order for that to work. So yeah, so that's fine. And then it's saying, yeah, so that's why I don't really need to use a copy and write. I've got a static string here because I don't care, because the string is static. And then it's got here bulk slice. I'm going to ignore that. But it's also implementing Pong here. Learning assembly stream. I am interested in learning assembly, actually. You get why I don't like JavaScript? What happened? If I was a recent CS grad in Sydney right now, what approach would I take to land your first job? LinkedIn isn't working. I would apply to the graduate program of every big tech that I can think of. And if that, you know, in parallel, I would also go to networking events, meetups, talk to people, work on projects, share them. Yeah, that's probably what I do. It just has so much punctuation. Really, I would say that Rust has more punctuation. But yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if I care about this I2A thing that it's suggesting. And this is what it is sort of suggesting for. Okay, so match item, Pong, and then it's going to write out the bytes. DST is bytes mute. The item is that. Here it has the I2A buff. Write bulk header. Not sure I want to do. I'm not sure if I want to bring in a dependency for this. What about the one having 6 years of experience? I would honestly do similar, just without the graduate program bit. You'd rather learn C for now? Well, we can read some of the C codebase, the Redis codebase. We can go look at anet.c again and try to understand it once more. So let's see. This is the one we read the other day. See if I can still understand what the hell's going on here. Int s. What is that? It is the socket. I think s is the socket. And it's being initialized with -1. And then there's an uninitialized integer called rv, which is the return value. So anywhere where you see this, I think this is... No, I'm wrong. See, I've already forgotten everything. Apparently this is some real hardcore C code. Oh yeah, no, it's being returned down here. But also because anet error is an integer, it's also acceptable just to return that. S is being returned down here. I don't think we ever return RV. Where is that? Yeah, never. Maybe it's used for something else. Oh, it's used. It's the return value of get address info. That's what it is. Real easy. Real easy stuff. I don't know if it's hard because it's C code or something else. I heard that the Redis codebase is like a really good reference for what good code is, which kind of makes sense. Anyway, you've tried all that TBH, just never hear back. You have to keep doing it. Or start your own business. I don't know what, there's no secret. There's no other secret, really. I can't give you a secret. Your conversations with AI like him, definitely be safe in the long term. I've been watching a video on YouTube on how computers work, starting with base 2. Interesting. How did I learn operating systems and computer architecture? By osmosis. This is amazing. Is that anti-blue light glasses? Yes. What happened to no single letter vars? Yeah. I don't know, man. They do what they want in that repo. So goto is acting like a closure there. Let me see. Goto error. Oh my goodness. I didn't even notice these gotos. Yeah, it's down here. Yeah. There's also go to end. Yeah. I honestly don't know why they did that because at least to me, it seems like P would not be null, so it would pass over this. And then I'm not sure really. Generate ideas for creative projects. You get Gemini or Claude to do it. How do I generate? Oh, I don't know. A mixture of what I find interesting, what other people seem to find interesting, according to what I perceive, and something that I think is useful. Any recommendations on anti-blue light glasses? I would recommend these, but they're a bit expensive. Yeah. Watching your videos will always make me demotivated. Your username is demotivated. What's going on here? TCP is linear in delivery and has checksum. Perhaps. The name of my glasses, you can go, I think, have I tagged my links? No. Anyway, you can go to my site, and if you scroll right down to the bottom, I've got a link there for the sunglasses that I'm wearing. Unfortunately, it's not an affiliate link, so I get nothing if anyone buys these. I would like to become an affiliate because that'd be pretty cool. You're a C programmer. No, you're not, you liar. Am I using Pop OS? Yes. I like it a lot. That's weird. You can apologize by email if you want. How pumped were I that Blizzard released the Warlock? I actually have not played the Warlock. I didn't even buy that DLC. I'm not pumped about it because I grew up playing Diablo 2 and I feel like the Warlock tainted the game a little. That's my thoughts there. Maybe a bit depressing, but that's it. So, we've got this item here. Let's just say we're going to match item, and it's going to be one of these things. We can get these match arms filled out. We're going to have a static string here and an error here, and we're going to have access to bytes mute, and we want to throw the, I guess, throw the bytes into the thing. Does that seem right? Simple. Let's rename this. Yeah, why not? Simple string. What have they called it here? Bulk. That seems fine. So for a simple string, like, what does it say? Echo. Hey, and then the actual thing we receive is like kind of like this. No. Let's just see what happens here. We're gonna do put slice and the string as bytes, and then we're going to terminate it with carriage return line feed. And let's just, oh, what's the problem here? At the end, we want OK with a unit. DST does not like to be modified here. Oh, I think we need Yeah, we need a trait. We need standard format. Right? No, that's not the one. Buff mute? Buff mute. And this needs to have double quotes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was it. Why does that have an issue? Oh, that's right, because it's the name's clobbered. That's fine. Concentrate on basic. And that was a response to someone else. Valheim was a fun game. I agree. I want to play Valheim again. I've been meaning to get a server up. I want to get a server up either for Factorio or Valheim, and then maybe just give access to some of the members. But I haven't gotten around to it. Do I feel satisfied now that AI writes the code for you and it works? Well, sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Is this object oriented? No. Why the tinted glasses? Because it's just healthy for my circadian rhythm, so I can go to sleep afterwards. Now, this is still not too happy with me. This line here. The method send exists for struct, but it's trait bounds. It's still unhappy with the trait bounds. We have implemented this needs to be resp codec. Does that satisfy the trait bounds? Not satisfied. Resp codec. Framed read. What does it have here? Framed.next await. Let's rename this just so it looks consistent. Mutable args. Let's say args is not mutable. That's still fine. And then we are implementing encoder REST response for RESP codec. I'm missing something. Where is... Yeah, I don't know. There are a few messages queued up. What is everyone saying? Please tell me if the responsibility is high or not. I maintain 3 OTT platforms, total 9 repos, handling 5 clients. Splitting monolith into microservices as a fresher. For 5 clients, it sounds like you should just have one thing for 5 clients. You have 4 years, you're 18 years old, planning to do DSA, C++, and web. Sounds fine. Oh no, what happened? Did I set up an event loop? No. We have threads, which are handling request and response. And the requests and responses are pipelined. How do you balance working, learning side projects, and gaming in your free time? I don't know. stack up everything and prioritize. What's the most important thing? And then allocate time, allocate hours to each. Can I explain what Rust is and why is it popular? It's a systems programming language. It's popular because it introduces a paradigm shift in how people program and make programs. And it uses lots of modern concepts and techniques. It has a unique way of managing memory. It's, somewhat functional, ergonomic, high performance. Lots of reasons why. Good morning from the tropics. Please tell me, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Stop sending that too many times, bruh. Got to raid and run. Pep Tech. Hey, man. I don't know if I missed you or not. I'm like getting through the backlog of messages. But thanks for coming in, dude. How was your stream? If you're still around. Otherwise, enjoy your evening, morning. Dun, dun, dun. Simple and wise, high performance. We like it. Yes, Rust is fast. What I like about Rust personally is that it is pretty strict and it has a compiler that tells you when you're doing things wrongly. I like that. But in this case, a little bit confusing because it's saying the method cannot be called unframed due to unsatisfied trait balance. Because whatever this is, looks like a macro, doesn't satisfy single extension. So we'll open anti-gravity, much to everyone's pain and frustration. We're going to open anti-gravity, and I'm going to even set the effort to low on 3.7 flash, and I'm going to say we're going to do the bash mode, and then help caret, and see what happens. And everyone's going to wreath in pain from watching an LLM that is not Claude. Okay, so let me see this. It's saying that the trait that we needed was actually just framed, not framed read. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then, yeah, the thing we're going to create down here needs to just be framed, not framed read. Oh, I think I had it as, wait, did I? Yeah, I think I started with it just being framed read. And then we had the splitting, we were splitting the stream. Let me see, let me backtrack a little bit. Yeah, so it started with the framed read. Because at the beginning, we were just reading the commands coming in. Xin Chao. I don't know how to say that. I forgot to turn on dangerously bypass permissions. Nah. Painful watching bro use Gemini. Do I think Gemini is better for coding assistance than Claude? They do different things. That's what I think. You know what? The bit of a life hack for you. If you like Claude, you should go just download anti-gravity, do your changes in Claude, and then tell Gemini Flash, tell it another agent was in here in my repo doing this work, but it's too verbose. It documents the what and the how, and it's completely irrelevant because the code's already telling me what that is. So just remove all that and retain the intent make it nice and neat, tidy. Because Anthropic models wants to write a book instead of you ask for one function that adds two numbers. You've got 10 doc strings and it's ridiculous. 15 different tests, all of them are mocking something. And you guys ask me why don't I use Claude? Do comments slow programs down? No, they don't. They slow humans down when you're reading it. You know, actually, the funny thing about comments, code comments, is that there have been studies done that show that junior developers read the code comments, but senior developers ignore them and just read the code. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so now it's probably going to say that response is possibly uninitialized, and that's true. Because in here we're doing nothing. If I do to do here, it's probably going to, yeah. Also here, right? Yeah, that was the problem. Bro, why Atlassian isn't hiring from India? I think they are, aren't they? I thought they were. Is Atlassian an India company? No, it's Australian. So I think now we can do something a bit like this, where we're actually going to yeah, this is going to get a bit. Anti-gravity is Google's harness. It's like Claude Code, but Google's version. That's what it is. Mansoor Ali. It's working flawless on X now. Very good to hear. Very good to hear. I still need to work on getting X into my stream proxy. Right now, I have to run two side by side like this. I can't work in these conditions. But yeah, because X doesn't have like an API for their chat. Twitch, you log into IRC, which is, in my opinion, the best. YouTube, you have to hit their API, which they've got like this thingy with all their APIs. It's kind of how you would expect Google to have something set up. I need an all-in-one chat. That's literally what I want. Yes. Here is the activity. Since we've gone live, these are the requests I've been making. And it has a quota, so I have to I've had to implement. Where is the quota? I've got to have like a sort of like a back off and all this kind of stuff, so it doesn't poll aggressively and all this. Like here it is: quotas and system limits. 31% at the moment. So yeah. So let's say here we're going to set response to resp response bulk string. Bulk string? Bulk? and then args1.clone. But what is, we need a semicolon. What's the problem here? Why is it squiggly lines? Simple is never constructed. Unused variable bytes. Value assigned to response is never read. Really? Is this not formatting properly? Okay, now it is. Have I tried DeepSeek? No. Someone will keep the old OG way of coding in Vim. Yes. How am I managing code crafters and writing this? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. What keyboard? Let me paste it for you. Keyboard. I will pin this. In fact, I might as well click on it since you asked and show you and everyone else who's currently on the page. It's the Kick 75 that I'm using right now. I have an F 75 as well, which is nice. But I'm using brown switches with low profile keys. I'm glad you guys are having fun spamming your cursors around on my site. Newfie is very popular. Yeah, apparently. I think I've probably sold like because those links on my site are affiliate links, so I get like 5% or something when people buy keyboards, and I've gotten probably 10 or a dozen sales or something like that. You've daydreamed about getting that set up on an app I showed you, but yeah, small brain cannot do without an LLM. What, the cursors moving around? It's actually really easy. How do you get jobs where your number of year of experience is less than required? I don't know. Maybe try volunteering or try for an internship or work experience or something like that. Redis is open source. Why are you writing Redis from scratch? What's the goal? Learning, just learning. And text editing at the same time. The technology to do text editing and cursors would probably be the exact same thing. Just different types of events. So you'd have like a text box. And when someone hits a key, it's going to send an event. Or you could do something where they write for a while and they send over what's called a CRDT, conflict-free replicated data type, kind of like sending diffs to each other, which don't need to be merged. I think that's how most collaborative editors do it. Do I have a container just handle the events? Yeah, it's running a Phoenix web server. You may have missed that, but there's a Elixir library called Phoenix. So like a big web framework for Elixir, and it has a submodule or a type of module here called presence, and essentially, everyone connects in to a channel and a room, so they're in the same room together, and they're sending events whenever stuff happens, and everyone else is receiving those events. That's essentially how it is working there on my blog. The funny thing is that my blog is a static site. It's hosted on GitHub. but I've added in JavaScript that connects to my server in Oracle at the moment. So that's cool. Do I have other Newfie keyboards? Yeah, just the Air V3. What Redis APIs are you trying to implement? Whatever's in Codecrafters. So far, we're just doing Echo. We'll have others soon. Let me continue with that for the moment so I can actually get somewhere. Let's say in here we're going to have ping. And here we're going to say pong, which currently is not a thing. I'm going to do pong here. And I'm going to implement that here. Pong, we're going to have to do something like put slice plus pong. Okay. Then we've got bulk, which I think here we want to probably have something similar to this, but it's going to be like bytes here, and it's going to be a star here. Oh no, it doesn't like that. As slice? No. What does it want? Put slice. Do I have to borrow it? Yeah. Okay. And then error message, probably quite the same as this right here. Yep. Simple is never created. That's probably fine at the moment. That's not an issue. And then we've kind of got this double conditional here, and I know Clippy's going to complain about this. But the whole point is that this could be different things. And in fact, I don't like how it's doing this right now, but it's okay. We're just going to say else to do. And that's going to also be the same here, so that we can just crash if something's not working. I'm going to go ahead and test that now. And you can see the test running on this site over here. Let's see. We've got 8 messages. 8 messages here. In my time in Atlassian, did I see interns who were already grads? No, it doesn't work like that. You come in as an intern, then you can, I think you apply for the graduate program. Yeah, usually if you go in as an intern and you do really well, then you'll have like a guaranteed spot for the internship, graduate program, sorry. Trying to visualize how things are distributed. Yeah. What do I think about Java? I've never tried it, but I did see an interesting post the other day, which did a troll response to. These two here, I don't know if you can see. The top one is Java and the bottom one is Rust. So this is modern Java in the top, apparently. It doesn't look too bad to me. But for me personally, if it looks almost identical, then I personally don't see the point in writing it. I would just use Rust every time. But that's just me. And that's why I made my little troll response. Was it possible for me to write this in Go, knowing minimal syntax? The problem with Go and Redis is that Redis tries to be extremely lean, and you don't have as much control over that in Go. Okay, so we sent back kind of the response, but it has an invalid length, which means that here, I'm pretty sure I've missed a step. Yeah. Reserve 1.length plus 2. What does that even mean? $-1. That makes sense there. Right bulk header. Okay, we're missing a function. Yeah, there's that one. So I said I don't want any dependencies. And it's saying just write to the straight to the thing. Bytes mute. Yeah, this is fine. So you're telling me, so why did it even suggest the, so we can just pull in standard format right, and then in here we can just say, rather than doing put U8, we'll do something like let write into the bytes mute with format string s.len. So we're not going to put that there. We're going to have a... oh, wait. We're not even using the simple one. It's actually the bulk one that we're using. Bulk and slice, apparently. So slice is with dollars. And bulk also with dollars. So where's the plus? Oh, plus is for simple strings. So that's correct. Bulk, we have... oh, so we're already answering... let me just find this. Yeah, we're already... okay, no, I'm really confused how that's working, but let's go with it. So we're going to do a write here into dest with dollar this and then the carriage return. So we actually yeah, that's right. Bytes len. And I guess that probably is going to pass the test. No Java, only in my cup from now on. Do you have to define how long the response is? Yes. What's my take on Imachi resurgence? I'm happy for the people that are currently enjoying Imachi. Me personally, I tried Imachi. I didn't like it. It was, for me, it was too opinionated, which for some people, they probably love it. For me, didn't like it that much. This is not Ubuntu, it's Pop! OS, which is a flavor of Ubuntu. This is Rust code, yes. And yeah. Okay, the test passed. The test did pass, which means we can now submit it. And something else is probably going to not work in the next test, but that's fine. That's what we're here for. Mark is complete. Why use GPU for games when you can run your OS off of it? Is that NeoVim? Yes, it's NeoVim. Why use GPU for game when you can run your OS off it? Are you talking Omachi? Okay, so now apparently the Redis client is going to send a set command. Let's see if it actually works. Expected okay, got unknown error. Okay. So it is... Right, so what did we actually receive? We got an ARG with three items in it. How am I using AI at the moment? At this very second, I'm not. But I might soon. There's no rules command, but just try to keep the respect up. Most disheartening part of job searching. Fight tooth and nail for someone who views you as a statistic. Yeah, kind of real. Invest time in as a new grad. Well, you know, I've never actually been a new grad, so I don't even know if I'm qualified to speak on that one. You know, Six Shades. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been ghosted by Amazon, Mercor, KPMG. Well, it's a pretty small list. You've been ghosted by Amazon, though. Literally ghosted by Amazon. That seems not like them, because I actually ghosted Amazon. They didn't ghost me. They definitely were very attentive, but I ghosted them. Sorry, Amazon. I probably shouldn't have done that, just in case I ever want to work there, but I'm not sure. Not sure if I want to. Give us the tea on why I don't want to work at Amazon. I've just heard bad things about how they manage their employees. That's all. Okay, so we broke into here in the else statement here because, now here's the issue I have right now. And we're going to tell Gemini about it. This arg's length checking is a bit ... and it can infer what I mean from that. What would be a better abstraction there? For example, matching the first arg and only doing length checking, or just iterating until we reach the next command, question mark. That seems like the right way to do this. Probably makes no sense to anyone that's watching, but fine. Did I know the gentleman that recently got let go from Atlassian that was in DevX? Maybe. What was their name? What was their name? Developer experience? Was that... what was his name? I think I do know him. Josh? Yeah, I know that guy. He's come into the stream maybe once. Do's and don'ts while using AI? I don't know. MacBooks should allow Linux distros? I agree, yes. What pulled me into programming? When I was 13 or 14 years old, I wanted to hack people on the internet, and I joined IRC channels full of people that were doing that, and I learnt a little bit of scripting at that time. Something went wrong. Okay. I seem to know how to function without it, without AI. I mean, if I really had to, I would just get by. But AI does really unlock a lot of stuff, I would say. Does it make sense to use anti-gravity? I use all of them. Like I use Codex, Gemini, and Claude as well. Bro built the backbone of Atlassian without AI. That's true. I built all that without it. That's right. Yeah. Wasn't easy. And it definitely wasn't refined. What's okay? I've been signed out of Oracle Cloud. Well, I think let's check the stats again if possible. I should probably hide this. Nah, actually, it doesn't matter. What are you guys gonna do? You're gonna hack me? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Yeah, so it's sitting at like 80%, 75% memory, pretty low disk writes. We've got 3.2 meg constantly sending out. Oh no, that's coming in and then sending out. It's 4.8. That's kind of weird because it's streaming to 3 different places. So I don't understand how it's like not triple what it's receiving. And the load average looks kind of weird to me. I would expect it to be more constant than that. You wish you could go back in Sam Altman's childhood and be a good parent to him. Holy shit. You couldn't find the gentleman's name. His name is Josh. I'm pretty sure. You are sim swapping me right now. Yeah. You're behind 7 proxies. That reminds me, if you go to my site and you go to my links and you go to merch, I've added some stuff on here. First of all, I do have my FTX US risk management team. It is available for purchase, but I also have Good Luck, I'm Behind 7 Proxies as a t-shirt. Literally the meme t-shirt. And then I recently added this one. Which I think is funny. I'm pretty sure if you show up in the Zoom chat with this, people will laugh. I'm pretty sure. So go and get one if you want. I'm currently wearing this one. The print is nice. The fabric's good. So I'm pretty happy with it. What's the project? We're writing Redis from scratch. We got swag. We got swag. How do I like Rust syntax? I love it. It's my favorite language. You guys like that t-shirt? Wait till I get my YC funds. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with like good ideas. That was one that I spotted on Twitter, and so I decided to go for it. All right, so a cleaner idiomatic pattern is to pass the raw vec bytes. Where do we have the vec bytes? It's up here. Vec bytes here. into a strongly typed command enum. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to do using an iterator-based or slice pattern parser. This encapsulates arity checks, case sensitivity, and parameter extraction in one place. That would be the smart thing to do, yes. So then we would have ping echo get set with a key and value. That would be one number. That's the first step, right? And then the second step would be something like this. To ASCII uppercase. That allocates, I'm pretty sure. As slice. Okay. Alternative, a helper struct. Args extractor for commands with optional or variable flags like set, key, value, and then optional things. An iterator helper is even more expressive. So we've got a struct args, which has something that implements into iter over bytes. And then we've got methods, next bytes, self, so it's a tuple, next, or raise some error. And then here, finish, otherwise, blah, blah, blah. And what's it saying here? Command from args. Yeah. Into iter. So vec bytes implements into iter, so that's automatically implemented. And then OK command. I think I like this better. It becomes completely decoupled from byte passing and argument counting. I'm pretty sure I like it better, yeah. I'm pretty sure I like that better. So we're gonna have a helper struct, args. Is that even valid? Do I have to standard iter? Standard vec? Bytes buff into iter? No. I think it's the vec one. Okay. Well, let's say we impl args. I don't know why it needs this next bytes thing. And I don't know why it's got that kind of a thing going on. Command error. Oh yeah, it is the vec one. Sweet. Let's grab that. Gonna pop that at the top. And then we've got finish, which is gonna take mute self as well. Probably also bytes. Whoops, what's going on here? Asahi Linux that is trying to support M chips. Oh, interesting. What's the website for the merch? It's one called Fourth Wall. It's the same. It's actually the same one that Monkey Type uses, and that's where I found it. So if you go to Monkey Type, they've got this bar at the top that says, "Check out the merch." This is the same provider that makes these T-shirts, but they've got these real kind of cool ones which are embroidered. Yeah. Same. How's my quota looking? My YouTube API quota. 50%. Okay. So after like an hour and a bit, it's used half. An hour and a half, it's used half of the quota. So I might have to get it to poll less aggressively. Is Codecrafters a good way to learn? Yes. My take on Go, Golang's good. It's good for getting jobs. It's a good language. I personally find it boring, which people like that it's boring. Why is everyone learning Rust? What's wrong with C? I think Rust is easier than C. That's what I would say. The distro is Pop OS. Why don't I use OBS? I am using OBS. What do you mean? I'm using OBS. But to get chat messages from YouTube chat, you need to hit an API. Apparently. I must be doing it wrong otherwise. If self.0.next is none, then OK unit. Otherwise, an error wrong number of args, too many args. Okay. All right, and then down here, we're going to delete we're going to say this is raw args, right? I'll let some raw args, yeah. Delete all this, and we're going to do let response equals match command from args, which hasn't been implemented. And just chuck in a little to do in the middle. So this doesn't have from, wait a sec. For commands with optional or variable flags. So I still have to do this bit where I do it with slice pattern matching. Define a command enum. Ping, next. Yeah, that doesn't. So if I make this args, was it extractor helper? I still need to do the passing in from args or no? I think impl args, new, next up, next finish, within the helper. Oh. What? I mean, it's better, I guess, but still. Thoughts on Node.js? I don't really know it that much. So, Knobs, you can link your YouTube and it will pull up chat. But is that just in the? It's pulling up the web, like this thing. It's pulling up this one, right? Whereas I'm actually pulling YouTube chat from an API so that it comes into here, because then I can have Twitch and YouTube and later Twitter also in here as well. Still need to do routing, but the extractor moves all the manual arity counting out of the routing logic. Instead of writing custom match arms for every single command, each branch just calls helper methods in a linear chain. Next op, finish, command ping. Let message ping next op. Why is there what's next op? Oh, just one. Okay. What comes in when it sends a ping, actually? Damn. I need to print the it's annoying. Then you would just need to use the pop-out chat for the others. Blah blah blah. What am I using Gemini? Just general questions is what I'm using Gemini for. You'd approach Amazon and say, I have 100K, give me API credits. Maybe. What do I do in my free time? This and games, usually. Today I was playing a bunch of Diablo 2. Diablo 2 with a paladin. Okay, so there's a bunch that I need to implement. We need next op, which is this, which is going to take an option of, it's going to give back an option, self.o next, seems okay. Optional integer passing for expiry. Not going to do that just yet. Yeah. Why not do bug bounties? Haven't really considered that. Bug bounty is a security type of thing. I mean, I could potentially look into those. Would be awesome. A playlist of Rust plus low-level dev concepts. Like of my videos, you mean like building out a whole catalog? I'd love to. It's a ton of work though. It is a ton. You guys don't understand how hard it is, at least for me, to produce just one video. It takes me hours. It takes me hours to produce like a 10-minute video. It's insane. Gemini is exceptional at finding bugs. Use it to find some on Anduril. Duplicate OAuth redirect. Cool. Did you get paid? So command is not even a struct, right? I haven't even made the struct yet. Enum command ping Option bytes. Bytes. We're going to need get. And then set is a little bit different. Let's just leave it like that for the moment. We've got a comma. Cargo format. It's not formatting my stuff. Does that mean I have a... Yeah, I've got a compilation issue. 18, import command. And we're going to do from args. Just leave it there for the moment. Is there a problem here? Raw args. This is going to be back bytes. Let response equals semicolon. Why is it mad about this? Oh, because that's why. You live in a country where most software jobs focus on business applications and outsourcing. You want to become an infrastructure engineer working on databases. How can you build the skills and experience to work in this field? Well, I would make a project that involves those technologies, and then apply for ones that maybe you might be slightly underqualified for, and see what happens. Hello, Cordy. It was a dupe. For the serious of a bug, it hadn't been taken care of for 2 months. Dang. Did I write code by hand? Yes. Honest question, what are the glasses for? Thank you. Thank you, Alex, for responding for me. I really need to get a bot to answer a lot of the common questions, I think. Do I think someone from Ethiopia can make it as a software engineer in this market? I don't know the Ethiopian market. Good day from the USA. Hello, good morning. I think if people from all over the globe get into it, you can too. Can you see private account comments? I can see your message, but if there's someone else, then I don't know. So now I should be able to format this mess. Cool, cool, cool. And then it's saying from args is going to look something like this. So we've got let mute args is args new from args. Yeah, that's confusing. Let's say input args. Next, bytes. Why would there be a name? This needs to have a question mark, and we need this return to be result self static string. We can just say result self. That's fine. Name to ASCII uppercase as slice. I'm curious about this. I am a little bit curious about this. So we're going to get back that, which is fine. Let's just make this a to-do for the moment. And then I want to check something in Godbolt. So rust.godbolt.org. We're going to look at a little bit of assembly. Do I think DevOps engineers are getting more obsolete? Not really. No, I don't think they're getting obsolete. I think that the title DevOps engineer is itself obsolete, but that's because the responsibilities have moved on and changed. Some companies are not caught up with that. I made a whole video on that. So if we're in here and we have let s equals hello, and then we do print, and we're going to do s.to ASCII uppercase dot as slice. And we'll do the debug representation of the slice. String, we actually want this to be bytes. And then it compiles. And then we want to see which part is, do we need no mangle? Do we need a C1? Opt 1? 0? 3. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure. Are you posting troll faces? Oh, because, yeah, okay. I forgot that I added those. Nice. Troll face. What other ones do I have? I've got Zig. I've got This Is Fine. I've got Gemini. Do you have access to all of the emojis? Kubernetes. Yeah, nice. Cool. Depending on how many members there are, I can add more emojis. So what is that on the right? Oh, this is assembly output. So I'm trying to figure out where this is exactly, because I'm curious if it is. Okay, is it here? It's here somewhere. So like, I'm curious if it. You know what? I'm gonna just ask Gemini. It's gonna be a little easier, I think. Does the to ASCII uppercase cause a heap allocation? How would I be able to tell in the assembly output? Example. And then we've got, I think it's, I actually don't know. Oh, it's this whole thing. It's this whole damn thing here, I think. To ASCII uppercase, call, alloc. I think it is. It's making a vec of bytes. Is that right? Vec U8. Yeah, so it does heap allocate. I think it does based on this ASM output. Hey Rex, what's your question? Yes, it allocates on the heap. The method returns a known vec U8 because vec stores its buffer dynamically on the heap. Calling this method performs an allocation. Why it occurs, it creates a copy of the slice rather than modifying it in place. You can do make ASCII. Is that a thing? Make? Ooh. Is that a thing? And then it would be... Do I work with web components? Not sure. What is web components? Bytes. Make ASCII uppercase. Oh, did it, do I have to dereference it? So I have to go like this? No. Okay, it doesn't like that. What about this? No, no. I probably shouldn't guess. S itemap S. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how you feel streaming these videos, and is laying off from Atlassian the best thing to happen to you because it gave you this chance of working here? I like the streams because they kind of motivate me to work on something for a focused amount of time. Like it really, I can't really get super distracted. Like the chat's distracting and whatever, but that's, I guess, an accepted part. But in general, it's kind of good for just doing stuff. I wouldn't say it's the best thing to happen to me. I think getting laid off was not a bad thing for me. It was more of a good thing. Okay, so let's just try to implement one of these. Let's just try to do ping and see what happens. Yeah, so it doesn't like... Oh, because... Okay. So here we would have to do make ASCII uppercase here. Oh, no, no, no. Since it's mutable, we'd have to do name.make ASCII uppercase and then just match name. Right? Why does it not like this? Couldn't convert, blah, 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 is not satisfied. Anyhow, does not implement from command error. That's fine. I think we just do like, I don't know. Like that's fine. And then why is this wrong? Expected enum result. Okay, method not found in result. Oh, that's right, because... Do I just do a question mark here? No, I do a question mark on the end here. Yes, okay, cool, 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 cool. And then name, it's expecting bytes, but found U8 with a length of 4. Is that right? Should this be like bytes? No, there's no way. There's no way that it's expecting that. Can I do like an example? Inline? No. Can I fill the match arms? Apparently no. This should be anyhow. Oh, whoops. Error. Like that? Yeah. I'm on recommended live channels. Very cool. You know, I never thought about C having source code. Well, I wasn't reading the C source code. I was reading the Redis source code, which looks like this. And it's a bit hard for me to read, to be honest. So what I wanted to do, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm probably going to just keep going with making the Redis thing in Rust. And then what I'll probably do, because agents are going to be way better at it, I'm going to do a comparison side to side where, let's say we go through the Redis code base is just a big flat folder with all the modules inside. So what I should be able to do, which might be interesting, is just to say, get an LLM to map the code I've written to the modules in the Redis source code so I can look at them side by side. There'll probably be bits that are just very small on my side because I'm leaning on libraries. And then they'll be very complex or whatever in the Redis side, but that's fine. I should do a Patreon one day, one-on-one mentoring. Not sure, maybe. C's own source code is written in C. I believe that. I mean, well, it's a process of bootstrapping, right? So at some point, they would have made the C compiler, and then they use the C compiler to then compile C. There's like a particular term for that. Program like a compiler bootstrap, or there's some kind of, I think it's just bootstrapping or self-compiling compiler. Yeah. It's when a compiler is written in the source programming language that it intends to compile. So an initial version is generated in a different language, which could be assembly language, and then successive expanded versions of the compiler are developed using this minimal subset of the language. It's pretty cool. If I saw your projects, I would crap myself. Why? How many do you have? Okay, let's see. Cargo check. What's it saying? Yeah, that's pretty clear. I don't know why it. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Okay, so basically, I just need to convert this guy into like a slice. Right? Trim ASCII? No. Trim app? No. Chunks? No. What if I used make ASCII uppercase to avoid the allocation with the font box? Am I perhaps not using AI? I am using AI right now. Over 100 projects? Damn, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do you not have Claude or Codex? Yes, I have a Codex subscription. Hello, Ice Green on Twitch. One of the cheaper models, it seems like. They're all pretty cheap. Any particular reason for Gemini? Just because I like it. I like to keep my LLMs at an arm's length. I can't directly call on bytes because bytes is an immutable reference counted view into memory. Bullshit. I did it here. I did it right here, though. Mutating in place would require exclusive ownership. I'm pretty sure I have. Actually, in fact, this is not mutable. So what the hell's going on here? How is this not a compilation error? Let me see this. Let me see this. I knew. Yeah, it is. It is a problem. So what if? Yeah. Let me see. Cargo check. Can I borrow as mutable? Yeah. What if I do that? Then can I? I still can't. The trait deref mute is required to modify through a dereference, but it's not implemented for bytes. Right. So then I'd have to go back to this garbage, which I don't want. Option 2, stack buffer conversion for match. If you prefer match over if else, stack buff name dot len. So we're figuring out the length of the name by doing what? Name dot length stack buff. So there's like a buffer. So we have a maximum of 16 character name. And then name length is over the buffer, unknown command. Otherwise, copy into the stack array and uppercase in place. And then match a slice of the stack buffer, which may be whatever length. Okay, seems semi-reasonable. Let's see how it goes. So I'm just going to get rid of this for now. I'm going to do, we still need to get the name. Let name equals args.next bytes. Map error. Anyhow. I don't know. Question mark. And then we're going to create a stack buffer with zeros, 16 bytes long. And then if the length is above the buffer length, then we don't know what the hell it is. And then we're going to copy the name length into the buffer. And then we can call make ASCII uppercase on the command, whatever it is. And then maybe we can grab the command, I suppose. I don't like how it's calling name len a million bazillion times. So I'm going to fix that. Oops. And then we can do something like ping and choose to do something about it. And this should be okay. And say that's okay too. And it's going to complain for some reason. Variants are never constructed. Any code following this match is unreachable because all the arms diverge because we have to do in there. I think that's what it's complaining about. Why is it complaining about that? ADHD and AI is a bad good combination. True. Might be the first time in human history that LLM usage has prompted more critical thought, not less. This stream? That's funny. That's funny. I literally have a machine that makes my ideas. It takes my ideas, expands it, makes it engineering doc. That's cool. Are those anti-borrow check error glasses? Yes. That's right. Hey Vass, if I have a Tailscale network, I don't know anything about Tailscale. I don't know what Tailscale even does. Will I build software for you? Will I work for you? I don't know. You can send me the details to my email address. My email address is on my website. Have you tried Z Editor? Yes, but a long time ago. So I'm pretty sure it's better now. As far as I've heard, it is much better. Let's just try to do what Gemini is suggesting here. Ping message. This, yeah. Needs to implement standard error. Where's finish? Let's make it not do a specific kind of error. Make it a little bit simpler. Get rid of this. Get rid of command error. And then I think we should be good there. We actually got compilation this time. Okay. Okay, what X even does. Yep. Not educated enough to explain it beyond personal subnet. Yeah, I understand it's some kind of a networking thing that lets you make your private network something blah blah blah, something like that. But I've never looked into it. Isn't Gemini bad for coding? I don't find it to be bad. No. Reason why I'm asking is because I've been fiddling with it and it is really good. You love NeoVim, but the config hell and moving it between machines gives you a headache. That's fair. Am I learning fundamentals? Not. I wouldn't necessarily say that's what I'm learning here. I would not necessarily say that's what's going on at the moment. This needs a byte. That is a result. We need a question mark. Okay. And then if we have get, let's say key is that. We want a get with the key. And then set will be key and value. Cool. It's starting to get somewhere. And we're going to want set, which is going to take key and value just like that. Bro said fundamental. Meanwhile, our boy here is writing Redis from scratch in Rust. May you know my answer. Will I work for you? I did answer you, and I recommended that you send me the details via email. Am I going to make a video after this is done? Yes, I'll try to do that if I can derive good content from this experience. That doesn't always happen to work. Am I hiring? No. I wish I had the money to hire anyone to do anything. That would be a good problem to have. Okay, I'm going to just see what happens now if I run this test, because I'm pretty sure this is compiling. Ping pong should work, echo should work, and the set command might work, but, well, we're not storing state anywhere. So, of course, that's not going to necessarily work, is it? And we got a panic with a not yet implemented, which was at 216 for handling the connection. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, I did not get your way of using AI, like you tape his output manually. Why am I typing the output from the LLM manually? I can't think of a better way to have really, really strong ownership and build a mental model over the code. It's kind of like, do you know that some people, when they study, they write, they read a book, for example, and then they write with a pen and paper what they are learning. In much the same way, similar but not the exact same way. If you actually type out what the LLM produces, you might actually retain it and understand what's going on. I don't think it's as good as, say, writing things down with pen and paper. Man, this stuff's real dirty. My hands are greasy. Okay. Struggling to balance AI productivity while improving my coding ability. I would just say deliberate practice. How else will you, how else will you improve your ability? Why are you writing Redis? Reason to learn something new? Partially, yes. The other part is, well, yeah, I'm curious to see how kind of Redis works exactly. The C code is a bit much for me to understand. So I think that probably doing it in Code Crafters is a good way of getting an understanding. And then I can maybe try to translate that to the C code and maybe try to learn a little bit of C as well. Can't believe we're already in the why are you typing error. It's the only way I can retain stuff. Can't remember anything AI do for me. Yeah. Absolutely hate the copy paste culture. Yep. My hands are. Did I try Amachi? No. I've tried it, yes. I didn't like it. Writing code by yourself in this day and age is meaningless. Well, that's certainly an opinion. One should know how to steer the LLM in the right direction. How do you know how to steer it if you don't know how to write code? That's the big question. You're starting with Rust. You have a roadmap. How to become pro in DSA. Just grind. Grind it until it's boring. Wasn't that the culture before AI? Copy paste from Stack Overflow? Those were the people that everyone looked down on. I want to try Rust, but I have no experience in C++. Is it a bad way? Golang dev, by the way. I have a video. I have a 2-minute video on how I learned Rust. You should watch that video. First person to let people write code by scrolling through reels wins this century. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, we need oh my god, that's an idea because you could do like Tinder, right? Except it's for Claude code, but Tinder style. So you put your first prompt in, and Claude will just go make something, and you'll swipe right if you like it, and swipe left if you don't like it. That will be the new vibe coding, right? Some money there. I think there's some money there. You're tired of leak code. There's a difference between tired of leak code and bored of leak code. Because if you are going on to leak code and everything's just so easy that it's boring, then you're finished. But if you're going on leak code and it's hard, you're not finished yet. If you want to get good at that's what I'm like. I'm not saying I am good at that stuff because I'm not. Let's see. What was the last thing? We've done that. We've got that. We've got this. Right. So this response here is going to be... Oh, apparently it's nothing. We've got OK command here from args. Yeah, we should... There should be a... Oh, right. This here is command. So we need to add the missing match arms. Oh, no. Now add the missing match arms. So now we have this. And then, why has it got a slash here? That's weird. And then here we need to create REST response long, for example. And then REST response. This is going to be nothing. Yeah. Bulk. Bytes. Get is going to be just like OK. We need to implement something here. What did it have for nil? It didn't put anything for nil. Nil is just nil. Pong, let's say OK, I guess. What else did it have? Slice? It had slice. Leak code is hard for you. You hate leak code, unfortunately. Code Forces? I've heard of that one. New here, dropping by to say hello. Hi. Do I develop games also? No, but I want to eventually. Leak code is just dead. LLMs ruined everything. Maybe. LLMs are so smart that you probably don't even need any coding knowledge to build successful BUIs or app. If that was the case, then everyone would be millionaires. If that's the case, then I wouldn't even be here. I'd just be making money, just infinite money. I don't think it's that simple. Now, why would I return nil here? I actually want to store state. Actually, you know what? It's getting pretty late, actually. Which means that it is time, actually, to say goodnight. Let me think. So, what I do in this session? Let me try to recap. We built basically the encoder and then the arg extractor helper. My hair looks crazy. What's going on here? Yeah, it's basically what I did. But let me see. Who is here right now? You hate spiders? I showed you the merch. Yes, yes. I showed everyone my keyboard at least 5 times, and everyone was having fun on the website. But yeah, it is time. That is it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you everyone for your questions and the chatter and contributing. We will continue this one another day. So I will see you then. Good night and have fun.